Hello and welcome to day 22 of the Advent Calendar Challenge. We have a very special day today. I'm Karl, this is Mark, and this is Bishop Sarah.
Hello, Bishop Sarah. Welcome, Bishop Sarah. It is so good to welcome you to the Advent Calendar Challenge. Have you been enjoying the previous episodes of the Advent Calendar Challenge?
They've been lovely, thank you. I have not been the faithful watcher of all of them, but I have glimpsed at different things.
She's watched a tiny little bit in preparation for today, but thank you so much for your encouragement, Bishop Sarah. So the thing is we're taking these Advent calendars, which have almost nothing to do about Jesus, except that one. Do you want to show Bishop Sarah that one?
Oh yeah, this one right here.
We affectionately call this the Jesus Advent calendar, because this is the kind of calendar I grew up with. And we are trying to link the pictures that we find to the nativity story, the story of Jesus being born. What was your experience of Advent calendars? Did you grow up with Advent calendars?
My first memory of Advent calendars is actually when I was older. So I don't think we had Advent calendars. What I remember at Christmas is actually having nuts, because we didn't used to have nuts very often, having walnuts. Remember walnuts when they were complete, and you'd put them under the chair leg and jump on the chair leg so they smash. You get your teeth, and it explains why I've got fillings now. And then you'd be picking the walnut out of the shell so that you could actually eat that. That's what I remember. Not Advent calendars, but eating the nuts.
You broke walnuts with your teeth?
I think when I was young, when you didn't have a nutcracker, you had to find a way to try to do that. So you'd be going,
do not mess with Bishop Sarah.
and
You could put them like bricks downstairs.
Yeah.
That's what happens in Wales. Don't mess with her.
It was South Wales Valleys. But in the end, it was chair legs. You just get under the chair leg, jump on the chair leg,
The chair leg and
everywhere, where your parents weren't watching.
I think walnuts look a bit like brains.
Yeah,
They
do.
They don't look very appetizing, walnuts.
But they are though, they're delicious.
I'm not a bit. I mean,
walnut.
I don't know if they've got a strange hazelnut. So my memory of the nut thing. Did you have nuts?
No, I had my first ever chestnut, maybe like 2 years ago.
You led such a sheltered upbringing. So I remember hazelnuts are a bit smaller and a lot easier to crack. You probably please do not try and crack one with your teeth.
No.
But you could get. We had this nutcracker thing. I'm the same, Bishop Sarah. It only came out at Christmas. We never had those kind of nuts at any other time. And it was kind of like I don't know if anybody had it. It's like a ratchet thing. You ratchet it up, right? And if you were really careful with the little hazelnuts, you could crack it just a little bit, get the nut out, and then glue the shell back together, put it back in the bowl. Brilliant fun. Christmas fact.
Christmas fact.
Have you got a Christmas fact? Christmas facts. Have you got a Christmas fact?
I've got a couple, but I think Bishop Sarah
Christmas
has a few.
fact. So have you got a Christmas fact? Go on.
Christmas fact I heard on the radio this morning that was saying if you look into the night sky, if the clouds aren't there, over these next days up to Christmas, you'll see two really bright lights very close together, almost as bright as the moon is, and they're Jupiter and Saturn. And one of the ideas is that the star that the Magi, the wise men, followed might have been this moment when Jupiter and Saturn came together in the night sky, round about those years when we think Jesus was born, because it did happen then, round about AD 7 BC. But so if you look up, you see these two bright lights coming together. They're two planets, Jupiter and Saturn. And there's an idea that might be the Star of Bethlehem. If you've got binoculars, it helps.
Yeah.
If it's very low on the horizon, though, so don't look up. Look right across on the horizon, and you might see that. That's my Christmas.
Why don't you? If you look up into the sky and you can see these two, well, they're not stars, they're two planets. You can see them that Bishop Sarah's talking about. Why don't you leave us a message and let us know? We've been chatting.
My mum told me this fact a few weeks ago, right?
Really?
And I laughed it off.
No.
I was like, no, of course it doesn't. But Bishop Sarah said it, and I believe it.
Have you got a Christmas fact?
Yes. The Swedish word for reindeer, ren, is the same as clean or pure.
Well, that's absolutely stunning, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we open the Advent calendars?
Yes.
What does the Jesus one have?
What day is it? It's 22nd.
22nd today. Oh, look, Karl! I got a reindeer. Well, it's not a reindeer, it's a deer. Wren.
Yeah, we can pretend it's a wren.
I got a wren.
Let it snow. That's got nothing to do with Jesus. The outside is frightful, and the fire is so delightful.
But since we've no place to go,
Let it snow.
Let it snow, let it snow.
Oh.
Woo!
So I picked something about reindeer.
Go on.
So I've got my friend's dog at the moment, and her dog was given 2 presents. And the presents are 2 pieces of reindeer antlers, deer antlers, which dogs chew as bones. And they're natural, of course, because antlers fall off. You don't have to take a bone from something that's dead.
I've learned something else today from
I
Bishop
did
Sarah.
not know. So I knew, well, so we like bacon quite a lot. This is my pork scratching Advent calendar, which, by the way, this pig stuffing company, that's 2 windows where all you're doing is giving us a 10% discount. You should be using these windows to encourage us over Christmas.
Yeah,
2 windows, just giving us a 10% discount.
The last time we did that, Steve edited it out.
I know he did. So if you would like 10% off this pig stuffing company, the code is Pepper looking happy in pajamas with snowflakes.
Right, okay.
All right. Now, the challenge there for Bishop Sarah is, you can see, what's the Nerf one?
Oh, this one says, have a blast.
Shepherds and angels.
Yeah.
So we know shepherds were out on the field, shepherds were outcasts, and we've done the bit about, actually, that was who God chose to announce it to, all right? That's a big deal.
Yeah.
All right. And we know because we read about it, we picture an angel turning up, but there's this little bit in it where it says, and it's a strange word, because it's a word that we don't kind of use sometimes, is suddenly a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God. I reckon that was quite dramatic. So have a
think it might have
blast.
been.
I reckon that would have been a kind of whoa, because it says
Big
suddenly.
There's
So
loads.
suddenly they appeared. We don't know that there was a noise, but you don't suddenly do something really quietly and gently, do you? Suddenly it's kind of boom.
Yeah.
And I imagine heavenly host, a whole bunch of angels, something like that, not singing.
Not singing.
We think they sing. Hark the Herald Angels announce. Not Hark the Herald Angels sing, because we don't know that they sing. It doesn't say that they sung.
Yeah.
So have a blast. A whole bunch of angels turning up to meet with the shepherds and say, this is amazing news.
Yeah. I've got it.
Go on. Coming to you next, Bishop Sarah.
So, the shepherds, after the angels has said this thing,
their
they
pajamas
went. What, pardon?
Put their pajamas on.
No. They were probably already in the pajamas because they were out in the fields at night. They weren't in the pajamas. They were in their little nice frocks, evening frocks. I know. Right. Okay. My mind is going to it. My mind is going.
We're waiting for your mind to go.
So they go to Mary and Joseph and they find Jesus there. And then what do they go out and do? They go and tell everybody about this. This would have been quite late at night as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Or very early.
Well,
early
there's a
in the
star
morning.
in the sky, and it says they were out at night time,
Yeah, let's give it the window between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
You're being very specific there. I don't think that's in the Bible.
Let's just give it
Okay, we'll go with that.
time frame. Okay. And so they'd have been shouting all through the streets, and people would have been coming out in their pajamas to witness them shouting about Jesus, and that is what we should be doing also.
I can go with that, Karl.
Thanks,
I think that's right, because we do know that they went back to their village and told people about it.
Yeah.
That's.
I don't think they would have waited to get back to their village. I think they would have been shouting about it in all
wherever they
Bethlehem
went.
as well.
Yeah, I think that's. We could imagine that happening. I think that's all right. Yeah. Bishop Sarah, please help us out of any kind of quagmire we might have got ourselves into. Have a blast or Peppa Pig in her pajamas. What can you do with those?
Well, I'm going for Peppa Pig in the pajamas. But first of all, Peppa Pig is difficult because, of course, people who are Jewish don't have pigs at all. They're not allowed. So Peppa Pig is a bit of an interloper.
Yes.
And cannot come into the Christmas story in any way whatsoever. So that is whoever bought that advent calendar. Really, it was it you? Goodness me! But the pajamas. The pajamas made me think of the bits of the Christmas story about Joseph, which we don't think about very much in Matthew. And of course, when Joseph finds out that Mary's going to have a baby and he knows he's not the father, what Joseph was thinking about doing was actually getting rid of Mary, putting her away quietly, he says, because he just, how could he trust her again? And it was while he was in his pajamas, asleep at night, that another angel, thinking to the angels of the shepherds, came and said to him, Joseph, don't be afraid to take Mary as your wife, because the child that's going to be born of her is God's son. And it says that when Joseph woke up the next morning, he took Mary to be his wife, took Mary to be, to stay with her as well, and stayed in the story. But there was a second one in pajamas, wasn't there? After the birth of Jesus, when the Magi were coming to see Jesus, the kings, and they'd come and they'd worshipped, and they'd realized that Herod, the bad king, was actually going to try and kill Jesus. So what happens is that Herod, when he realizes that the wise men aren't coming back, he actually sends his soldiers to kill all the babies under 2 years old. But in the night, Joseph has another dream, another angel, and warns him that Herod's coming for Jesus. And that's when they pack up in the night and they go off to Egypt as refugees, as asylum seekers, to be safe from the violence that's coming. So there's two lots of pajamas and Joseph for us in the Christmas story, and reminds us that sometimes we don't think that God really speaks to us, but actually God can speak to us in our dreams, but we have to believe what happens within there.
Now, this is why she's a bishop.
I know, exactly. We've been doing this for 22 days and we haven't come up with the whole pajama routine yet. We've had other pajamas in these advent calendars. We've had other pajamas. Bishop Sarah, bang, like that. Not just one, two.
On the last pajama one, we just failed, didn't we?
Did we fail on the pajama one?
I think we did.
I know, we should have brought Bishop Sarah in sooner than that.
I think it's the pig. It's the pig is the problem.
Well, I know you talked about Peppa Pig. This is pork scratchings. This is even worse. I know, and what I hadn't realised was we have Peppa Pig and pork scratchings. But we'll move on from that. Bishop Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today for day 22 of the Advent Calendar Challenge. We hope that you have a really wonderful Christmas. Tell me, so people might not know this, normally all of the bishops go into prison on Christmas Day.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it, Bishop Sarah? The bishops go to prison on Christmas Day, normally.
Some of them do. I'm going to Gateshead. And if you think Gateshead is prison, then you'll be able to do that. But I'll just say goodbye. Bye as well. Do you like my hat? Let me just find my hat.
How come the bishops upstaged us? I know. Thanks for joining us. We will see you tomorrow for day 23 on the Advent Calendar Challenge. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
What is that about?
Oh, she's gone.
She's gone. Oh, that was quick.
Bye, Bishop Sarah.
Bye.